tatta dhim ta takita dhim ta tam. Hello there, welcome to my channel. I'm so delighted you'll join me today. My name is Padma Menon, and on this channel I share the philosophy and practice from ancient goddess traditions from my culture, which is India. And today I am going to share some reflections about a question that I get asked quite a lot in my workshops and classes, and sometimes by the women that I'm working with, and that is whether the divine feminine is the opposite of patriarchy. The short answer to that is that it is not. It is actually freedom from patriarchy. So let me just share with you what I mean by that. Some of you may be familiar with the Netflix series Lucifer. I have to confess that it has become my go-to binge-worthy series these days. So for those of you who don't know, in the series, the divine beings, that is Lucifer and God and all the other angels, they come down to earth, and where else but in Los Angeles. In one of the episodes, God is in the city, and so is Goddess, who is his ancient consort, who is not with him anymore. Now, God makes a decision where he says he is going to resign his godhood to go and live in the universe of the goddess. And this is a really useful way of thinking about the patriarchy and the divine feminine. They are actually two different universes. And you do need to step into the universe of the divine feminine, not by opposing the patriarchy, but really by moving into this other space. By patriarchy, we mean a way of living that is dominated by the mind. So this is understood as the masculine in the goddess tradition. That means that we look at reality, we experience reality through the lenses of the mind. And what are these lenses? So for example, time is a really important lens, and linear time, which is past, present, and future. Duality, good and bad, man and woman, beautiful and ugly. Competition, hierarchy, mastery, and control. These are all very characteristic lenses of the mind. Now, the divine feminine is sourced from the body, which means that we use the lenses of the body to experience, to inhabit, and to perceive reality. And what are the lenses of the body? For example, movement is one of the important lenses of the body, and that is why in many ancient goddess traditions, dance was the language of the practice. So through movement, we are asked to connect with the movements of the elements around us, the movements of other forms of life around us, the movement of the snake, the movement of the wind, the movement of the leaves in the trees, the movement of the forest fire, the movement of the storm. And this also highlights one of the other characteristics of the divine feminine, which is that every lens in the divine feminine is aiming to connect us to all of life around us. So whereas in the mind-dominated paradigms, we have the story of the human, which essentially separates us and makes us something other than everything around us, in the divine feminine, the aim is to connect us so that we can experience how we are unified with everything around us. So I hope you can begin to sense how different these two universes are, the universe of the divine feminine and the mind-dominated or the masculine or the patriarchal universe. There are many of you, of course, as women who are fighting for equality, fighting for rights, and doing great worthy work within the patriarchy. And this is not to say that I don't honor and respect that work. But the divine feminine is for those of you who, as women, are ready to take matters into your own hands. It is for those of you who say, enough is enough. You are not going to be waiting for permission, and you're not going to be knocking at doors waiting to be let in, because the invitation of the goddess and the divine feminine is very simple. If you have a body, you can change how you experience reality, and you can find your own unconditional freedom, which is already within you and for which you do not need anybody's permission to do so. So I hope you can see how the divine feminine is not about opposing the patriarchy, but it is about freeing yourself from the patriarchy despite the patriarchy. Thank you so much for joining me today. I do hope that you will share with me any reflections and comments that you have. And if you have been enjoying these videos, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Your support is of great value to me in this work. I look forward to your company again.